First story. Harvest Moon Shadows by Sarah Thompson. The crisp autumn air hung over the small town of Millville as I made my way to my friend Jenny's farm for the weekend. It was a simple escape from the hustle and bustle of city life, a chance to breathe in the tranquility of the countryside. Little did I know, tranquility would soon be replaced by an eerie sense of unease. Jenny's farm, nestled on the outskirts of Millville, was surrounded by vast fields of golden wheat and corn. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, I couldn't help but marvel at the beauty of the harvest moon illuminating the night. Jenny greeted me with a warm smile, but there was an unusual tension in the air. We decided to take a leisurely walk around the farm, the crunching of leaves beneath our boots creating a symphony of autumn sounds. As we strolled along the narrow path between the fields, a chilling breeze rustled through the crops, whispering secrets that sent shivers down my spine. We passed by the old barn, its time-worn wooden walls bearing witness to decades of hard work. Suddenly, a dim light flickered from within, casting long, distorted shadows on the barn door. My heart skipped a beat, and Jenny shot me a puzzled look. With cautious curiosity, we approached the barn. As the door creaked open, a ghastly scene unfolded before our eyes. Strange symbols adorned the walls, and a group of hooded figures stood in a circle, their faces hidden in the shadows. They chanted in an ancient language, the words sending a chill down my spine. In the center of the circle lay a collection of peculiar objects, bones, feathers, and an unsettling effigy made of twine. We dared not disturb the bizarre ritual and silently retreated from the barn, the weight of the unknown hanging heavily in the air. Fear clung to us like a second skin as we made our way back to the farmhouse, questioning what malevolent force lurked in the shadows of Jenny's seemingly idyllic farm. The night pressed on, and the rhythmic chanting continued, resonating through the walls of the farmhouse. Unable to shake the feeling of impending dread, we decided to investigate further. Armed with nothing but a flashlight, we tiptoed back to the barn, hoping to unravel the mystery that gripped the farm. As we approached, the chanting reached a fever pitch, echoing in our ears like a sinister lullaby. The barn door swung open with a deafening creak, revealing the hooded figures in their grotesque dance. Our flashlight flickered, casting disorienting shadows that danced alongside the hooded figures. Panic set in as we realized we were not alone. The figures turned towards us, their featureless faces sending a jolt of terror through our veins. Without a second thought, we sprinted back to the farmhouse, the haunting echoes of the ritual fading into the distance. As we locked ourselves inside, the air grew heavy with an oppressive silence. We spent the remainder of the night huddled in fear, our minds racing with questions that had no answers. Morning broke, revealing a farm bathed in the soft glow of sunlight. The fields, once filled with shadows, now seemed innocent and serene. Jenny and I exchanged a silent understanding. Some secrets are better left undisturbed. The harvest moon had cast its spell on that peculiar night, leaving us with a chilling tale etched in our memories, forever haunting the fields of Millville. Second story. Whispers in the Wheat by Mark Johnson. My name is Mark Johnson, and what happened on that desolate farm in the heart of Nebraska still sends shivers down my spine. It all began innocently enough when my childhood friend, Jake, invited me for a weekend getaway to his family's farm. As I drove through the vast expanses of cornfields and wheat, the isolation of the countryside engulfed me. The farm, nestled miles away from the nearest town, seemed like a forgotten patch of earth. Jake welcomed me with a hearty handshake, but his eyes betrayed a weariness that hinted at something darker beneath the surface. Eager to explore the rural haven, Jake and I decided to take a stroll through the sprawling wheat fields that stretched as far as the eye could see. The rustling of the wheat in the gentle breeze created an eerie symphony, as if the very land whispered secrets to those willing to listen. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the fields, an unsettling feeling settled over us. It wasn't the usual calm of the countryside. It was a gnawing anxiety that seemed to emanate from the very earth beneath our feet. We pressed on, determined to shake off the unease that clung to the air. In the distance, we spotted an old, dilapidated farmhouse with weathered boards and peeling paint. Against our better judgment, curiosity led us to the decaying structure. The door groaned open as we cautiously stepped inside, greeted by an overwhelming mustiness that permeated the air. The farmhouse was frozen in time, with faded wallpaper peeling off the walls and dust-covered furniture bearing the weight of forgotten memories. In one corner, a collection of antique dolls lay scattered on the floor, their lifeless eyes staring into the void. It was a macabre scene that sent a chill down my spine. As we explored further, the wind outside picked up, causing the wheat fields to sway in an unnatural dance. Faint whispers echoed through the farmhouse, disembodied voices carrying a mournful tune. Goosebumps crawled up my arms as I strained to decipher the haunting words that seemed to seep from the very walls. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and the air thickened with an otherworldly presence. Shadows danced on the walls, contorting into grotesque shapes that seemed to mock our intrusion. Panic set in as we realized we were not alone. The dolls, once motionless, now twitched and shifted in the corners of the room, their glassy eyes fixated on us. With a sense of impending doom, we fled the farmhouse, the whispers in the wheat growing louder with each step. The night swallowed us whole as we stumbled through the fields, pursued by an unseen force that whispered secrets too ancient to comprehend. We reached Jake's family home, gasping for breath and bathed in cold sweat. The farm, once a symbol of rural serenity, now harbored a darkness that clung to our very souls. As the first light of dawn broke, casting long shadows on the farm, Jake and I shared a silent acknowledgement. Some mysteries are better left buried in the whispers of the wheat. Third story, Moonlit Meadows, by Emma Carter. My name is Emma Carter, and the events that unfolded during a seemingly ordinary night at my cousin's farm in the English countryside still haunt my dreams. The quaint village of Meadowbrook provided the backdrop for a family reunion, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the meadows, we gathered at my cousin Alice's farmhouse for a night of laughter and reminiscence. The air was crisp, and the scent of blooming wildflowers mingled with the aroma of a hearty dinner wafting from the kitchen. Alice, an affable woman with a penchant for storytelling, regaled us with tales of the farm's history and the secrets hidden within its ancient walls. Little did we know, those secrets were about to reveal themselves under the moonlit sky. As the night progressed, a chill settled over the meadows, and the laughter faded into a hushed silence. Alice suggested a moonlit walk through the fields, a chance to embrace the tranquility of the countryside. We ventured into the meadows, guided by the soft glow of the full moon overhead. The meadows, bathed in ethereal moonlight, seemed to come alive with a subtle energy. Yet beneath the beauty lay an undercurrent of unease. The tall grass rustled in the breeze, and distant whispers carried on the wind, as if the very earth held secrets too profound for human ears. As we strolled along the meandering path, an ancient oak tree came into view. Its gnarled branches reached towards the heavens, casting haunting shadows on the ground. Alice, guided by an inexplicable force, urged us to approach the tree. The air thickened with a palpable tension as we stood in the shadow of the ancient giant. Suddenly, the ground beneath our feet trembled, and a series of mysterious symbols illuminated the meadow. Panic set in as we realized we were standing in the midst of an otherworldly occurrence. The whispers grew louder, blending with the rhythmic hum of an unseen force that enveloped us in a cocoon of fear. In the meadow's heart, a figure emerged from the shadows. Cloaked in darkness, the silhouette seemed both familiar and otherworldly. Alice, with a mixture of fear and reverence, whispered that it was the spirit of the land, awakened by the convergence of the harvest moon and the ancient oak. The spirit spoke in a language beyond human comprehension, its words resonating in our minds like a haunting melody. It revealed glimpses of the farm's untold history, of forgotten rituals and the interweaving of the natural and supernatural. Fearful and awestruck, we stood as witnesses to a cosmic dance that transcended the boundaries of the known. As the first light of dawn broke, the meadows returned to their serene state, the whispers fading into the wind. We stumbled back to the farmhouse, our minds grappling with the surreal events that unfolded beneath the moonlit sky. The farm, once a simple haven in the countryside, had revealed its enigmatic secrets, leaving us with a profound sense of awe and trepidation. Each story is a unique exploration of the eerie and unsettling occurrences that can unfold in the tranquil setting of a farm or countryside. From mysterious rituals in an old barn to unsettling whispers in the wheat fields and encounters with otherworldly spirits in moonlit meadows, these tales aim to evoke a sense of tension and unease, keeping the listener on the edge of their seat. Fourth story, Echoes of the Past, by James Turner. My name is James Turner, and the night I spent at my uncle's farm in the heart of Texas left me questioning the boundaries between reality and the supernatural. The vast expanse of the farm, with its rolling hills and weathered barns, seemed like the perfect setting for a weekend retreat. Little did I know, the echoes of the past would awaken as the sun dipped below the horizon. Uncle Bill, a weathered man with a penchant for stoicism, welcomed me with a nod and a firm handshake. His farm, nestled amidst the vast Texan plains, exuded a sense of timelessness. As the stars began to dot the inky sky, Uncle Bill suggested we take a walk to the old windmill at the edge of the property. The night was unusually quiet, with only the distant howls of coyotes breaking the silence. As we approached the windmill, its rusted blades creaked in the night breeze, creating an eerie symphony. Uncle Bill's gaze fixated on the horizon, his eyes reflecting a depth of memories that lay hidden in the shadows of the past. As we reached the windmill, a chilling wind swept through the plains, carrying with it the whispers of a bygone era. The air shimmered with an unseen energy, and the landscape seemed to warp as if revealing glimpses of the farm's history. Shadows danced on the ground, morphing into ghostly figures that flickered in and out of existence. Uncle Bill, his voice barely above a whisper, began recounting tales of a time when the farm was a hub of activity, a place where families gathered to celebrate life and harvests. However, as the stories unfolded, a darkness crept into the narrative, tales of a long-forgotten tragedy that cast a lingering pall over the land. A sense of foreboding settled over me as Uncle Bill spoke of a mysterious fire that claimed the lives of several farmhands decades ago. Legends whispered that their spirits still roamed the fields, seeking solace for the untimely end that befell them. The windmill, a silent witness to the tragedy, stood as a monument to the lingering sorrow. As Uncle Bill's words faded into the night, the temperature plummeted, and the air became thick with an otherworldly presence. Shadows congealed into spectral forms, and the windmill's blades spun wildly, as if propelled by the hands of unseen entities. I felt an invisible gaze upon me, the weight of eyes from beyond the grave. Suddenly, the windmill's blades slowed, and an ethereal glow emanated from the structure. The ghostly figures merged into a swirling vortex, and a chorus of disembodied voices echoed through the night. Images of the past played out before us, the farmhands toiling in the fields, the joyous celebrations, and the tragic inferno that engulfed them. Frozen in awe and terror, I witnessed a spectral reenactment of the farm's darkest hour. The windmill's glow intensified, casting an otherworldly light that painted the plains in hues of blue and silver. The voices crescendoed, a symphony of grief and longing that reverberated through the very fabric of the night. As the echoes of the past subsided, the windmill returned to its silent vigil, the ghostly figures dispersing into the night. Uncle Bill and I stood in stunned silence, grappling with the supernatural spectacle we had just witnessed. The farm, once a serene retreat, now bore the weight of its tragic history, leaving me with a profound sense of reverence for the spirits that lingered in the shadows. Fifth story, Midnight Melodies by Elena Martinez. My name is Elena Martinez, and the night I spent on my friend Carlos's family farm in the outskirts of Seville, Spain, unfolded like a haunting melody with notes of suspense and fear. The rustic charm of the farm, nestled against the backdrop of olive groves and vineyards, seemed like the perfect escape from the rigors of city life. Little did I know, the enchanting melodies of the Spanish countryside could take a dark and twisted turn. Carlos, a passionate musician with an affinity for the guitar, invited me to experience the magic of the farm's vineyard under the moonlight. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the vibrant hues of the sunset painted the sky in shades of orange and pink. The air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers, creating an atmosphere of serenity that belied the impending darkness. We strolled through the rows of vines, their leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an otherworldly glow over the vineyard. Carlos, with a mischievous glint in his eye, suggested we pause for a midnight serenade amidst the grape-laden vines. As Carlos strummed the guitar, the melodies echoed through the vineyard, creating an enchanting ambience that seemed to resonate with the very soul of the land. The night came alive with the sounds of crickets and the distant hooting of owls, forming a natural symphony that accompanied Carlos's soulful tunes. However, as the last chords of the guitar faded, an eerie silence descended upon the vineyard. The air, once alive with the harmonies of nature, felt stifling and oppressive. I cast a nervous glance at Carlos, who seemed to sense a change in the atmosphere. Unbeknownst to us, the enchanting melodies had awakened something malevolent in the shadows. A subtle rustling in the vines caught our attention, and we turned to see dark figures emerging from the depths of the grape-laden foliage. Their silhouettes danced in the moonlight, and a haunting chorus of disembodied voices joined Carlos's guitar, creating a dissonant harmony that sent shivers down my spine. The figures, clad in tattered clothing and bearing expressions of longing, moved with an otherworldly grace. Their ghostly presence seemed to transcend the boundaries of the living, and I could feel the weight of their unseen gaze upon us. Carlos, paralyzed by a mixture of awe and fear, continued to strum the guitar, seemingly entranced by the spectral dance. As the night wore on, the figures closed in, their ethereal forms intertwining with the vines. The vineyard, once a sanctuary of natural beauty, now bore witness to a spectral waltz that defied the laws of the living. I felt a cold breeze as the ghostly figures passed through me, leaving a lingering chill that seeped into my very soul. Suddenly, the moon reached its zenith, casting a blinding light that momentarily banished the ghostly dancers. Carlos, his eyes wide with a mixture of wonder and terror, halted the melody. The figures, trapped in the moonlit glow, dissipated like shadows in the morning sun, leaving behind an unsettling stillness in the vineyard. We stumbled back to the farmhouse, our minds reeling from the surreal encounter. The enchanting melodies that once serenaded the night now carried a haunting undertone, forever etching the vineyard with a spectral presence. Carlos and I, bound by the shared experience, shared a silent acknowledgement that some songs are best left unplayed in the shadowy corners of the Spanish countryside. These stories weave a tapestry of chilling encounters on farms and in the countryside, exploring the thin veil between the ordinary and the supernatural. From spectral dances in the vineyards of Spain to the echoes of tragic events in the heart of Texas, each tale invites the reader into a realm where the unknown lurks in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. Sixth story: The Unseen Tenant, by Alex Morrison. My name is Alex Morrison, and the night I spent at my friend Mia's farm in the Australian Outback unfolded into a suspenseful saga of eerie encounters and the unmasking of an unseen tenant. The vast expanse of Mia's property, surrounded by the rugged beauty of the bushland, seemed like the perfect setting for a weekend getaway. Little did I know, the isolation of the outback held secrets that would send shivers down my spine. Mia, an adventurous spirit with a love for the untamed wilderness, welcomed me with open arms. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a fiery glow across the desolate landscape, Mia suggested we take a moonlit walk through the eucalyptus groves that bordered the farm. The night sky, painted with a dazzling array of southern hemisphere stars, seemed to hold the promise of a serene adventure. We strolled through the bushland, the dry earth crunching beneath our boots. The moon, a silvery orb in the ink-black sky, cast elongated shadows that danced among the twisted branches of the gum trees. The air carried the distinctive scent of eucalyptus, and the haunting call of a distant kookaburra echoed through the stillness. As we ventured deeper into the bush, an unsettling feeling settled over us. The rhythmic chirping of crickets ceased, and an eerie silence enveloped the night. Mia, with a furrowed brow, confessed that she often felt as if she were being watched while wandering through the bush at night. I brushed it off as a trick of the imagination, attributing the unease to the isolation of the outback. The path led us to an ancient rock formation, a natural amphitheater surrounded by towering cliffs. Mia, sensing an opportunity, suggested we take a seat and soak in the beauty of the night. As we settled on the weathered rocks, a distant rustling in the underbrush caught our attention. The shadows seemed to writhe, as if concealing a presence that lurked just beyond the edge of perception. Unnerved but curious, we ventured deeper into the natural amphitheater, our footsteps muffled by the red earth. Suddenly, a soft hum filled the air, a melodic tune that seemed to emanate from the very rocks beneath our feet. Mia's eyes widened with realization. The outback held a secret melody, a song of the land sung by an unseen entity. The hum intensified, and the surrounding rocks began to vibrate with an otherworldly energy. Shapes materialized in the darkness, ethereal figures that moved in harmony with the unseen melody. Mia and I stood in awe as the rock formation became a stage for a spectral performance, the figures swaying and twirling in a dance that transcended the laws of the physical world. As the unearthly performance reached its climax, the figures dissipated into the night, leaving behind a lingering hum that resonated in the red earth. Mia and I, overcome with a sense of wonder and trepidation, stumbled back to the farmhouse, our minds grappling with the revelation that the Outback harbored an unseen tenant, a guardian spirit that spoke through the ancient rocks. The remainder of the night was filled with whispers of the unseen tenant, the haunting hum echoing in our dreams. Mia, with a mixture of fear and reverence, explained that the indigenous people believed the land held ancestral spirits, protectors of the natural world. The realization that we had witnessed the ancient song of the Outback left us with a profound sense of connection to the untamed wilderness that stretched beyond Mia's farm. 7th story, Shadows of the Orchard, by Emily Thompson. My name is Emily Thompson, and the chilling events that unfolded during a night at my aunt's apple orchard in upstate New York are etched in my memory like a ghostly apparition. The charm of the small town, with its apple blossoms in spring and vibrant foliage in the fall, had always lured me back. Little did I know, the idyllic setting concealed a dark secret that would unravel under the cloak of night. Aunt Martha, a jovial woman with a love for apple pies and folk tales, welcomed me with a warm hug. As the sun dipped below the rolling hills, casting long shadows over the orchard, Aunt Martha suggested we take a lantern-lit stroll through the rows of apple trees. The air was sweet with the scent of ripening fruit, and the rustling leaves created a soothing symphony that echoed through the orchard. As we ventured deeper into the rows of trees, the lantern's warm glow casting dancing shadows, a subtle unease settled over us. The orchard, once a haven of familial nostalgia, seemed to hold secrets that lingered in the cool night breeze. Aunt Martha, with a furrowed brow, admitted that she often heard hushed whispers among the rustling leaves, voices that spoke a language unfamiliar to human ears. The path led us to an ancient tree at the heart of the orchard, its gnarled branches reaching towards the heavens. Aunt Martha, with a mixture of trepidation and excitement, revealed that the locals spoke of a curse that befell the orchard decades ago. Legend had it that an illicit affair had led to tragedy, and the spirits of the aggrieved lovers still haunted the orchard, their whispers carried on the wind. As we stood before the ancient tree, the air grew still, and the lantern's flame flickered as if responding to an unseen presence. Whispers, too faint to discern, emanated from the shadows beneath the branches. Aunt Martha, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and curiosity, urged me to listen closely. As the night wore on, the whispers coalesced into a mournful dialogue. The voices spoke of love betrayed, of promises broken, and the eternal yearning that tethered the spirits to the orchard. I felt a chill in the air as the spectral voices intertwined with the rustling leaves, creating a haunting symphony that echoed through the moonlit night. Suddenly, the branches of the ancient tree began to sway in a rhythmic dance, casting elongated shadows on the ground. The whispers crescendoed into anguished cries, and the orchard seemed to come alive with a spectral energy. Aunt Martha, her face pale, confessed that she had witnessed similar occurrences throughout the years but never with such intensity. In the midst of the spectral dance, the lantern's flame extinguished, plunging us into darkness. The cries of the spirits reached a fever pitch, and I felt an unseen force enveloping us. Panic set in as the shadows of the orchard seemed to converge, taking on ethereal forms that moved with an unnatural grace. With a surge of courage, Aunt Martha and I stumbled back through the rows of apple trees, the spectral voices fading into the distance. The orchard, once a symbol of familial heritage, now bore the weight of a tragic history that transcended the boundaries of the living. As the first light of dawn broke, revealing the orchard bathed in the soft glow of morning, Aunt Martha and I shared a solemn acknowledgement. The whispers of the orchard, the voices of love and loss that echoed through the night, left an indelible mark on our souls. The apple blossoms, once a symbol of renewal, now held a haunting beauty that would forever be entwined with the shadows of the orchard. These stories delve into the mysterious and chilling experiences that can unfold in seemingly ordinary places, each tale uniquely exploring the unsettling encounters in different corners of the world. From the unseen tenant in the Australian Outback to the spectral dance in the Spanish vineyards, and the haunting whispers of an apple orchard in upstate New York, these stories aim to evoke a sense of suspense, wonder, and fear as the boundaries between the natural and supernatural blur in the moonlit landscapes. 8th story, The Cursed Harvest, by Benjamin Blackwood. My name is Benjamin Blackwood, and the chilling events that unfolded during a night at my grandfather's farm in the heart of England are etched in my memory like a nightmare I cannot forget. The quaint village of Weybridge, surrounded by rolling hills and lush meadows, held the promise of a serene retreat. Little did I know, the legacy of a long-forgotten curse would resurface under the veil of night. Grandfather Henry, a stoic man with a love for the land, welcomed me with a firm handshake. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the fields of wheat and barley, Grandfather suggested we inspect the crops under the light of the full moon. The air was heavy with the scent of harvest, and the rustling leaves created a symphony that echoed through the countryside. As we strolled through the fields, the moon's silvery glow revealed a tapestry of golden crops stretching to the horizon. However, an unease settled over us as we approached the ancient oak tree at the heart of the farm. The villagers spoke in hushed tones of a curse that befell the land generations ago, a malevolent force that tainted the very soil beneath our feet. The night was eerily quiet as we reached the oak tree. Grandfather, with a stern expression, explained the legend of the cursed harvest, a tale of greed, betrayal, and a pact with the supernatural. The curse dictated that every full moon, the spirits of the betrayed would rise, seeking retribution for the sins of the past. I dismissed it as folklore, attributing the unease to the weight of superstition. As the moon reached its zenith, the air thickened with an ominous presence. Shadows danced beneath the ancient oak, and the crops seemed to rustle with an unnatural energy. Grandfather, his eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and determination, urged me to watch closely. The fields, once bathed in the moon's gentle glow, now became a stage for a spectral drama. Spectral figures emerged from the crops, their ethereal forms moving in a silent procession. Their faces, contorted in expressions of sorrow and anger, conveyed the weight of centuries-old grievances. The moonlit night became a theater of the macabre, as the figures reenacted the betrayal that led to the curse, a betrayal rooted in the very soil of the farm. As the spectral drama unfolded, the air echoed with anguished cries and the rustling of the cursed crops. Grandfather and I stood frozen in terror, witnesses to a haunting performance that seemed to transcend the boundaries of time. The figures, locked in their eternal struggle, cast accusing gazes upon us, and I felt the weight of their spectral eyes probing the depths of my soul. Suddenly, the moon dipped below the horizon, and the spectral figures dissipated into the night. The air cleared, and the fields returned to their quiet serenity. Grandfather and I, breathless and shaken, stumbled back to the farmhouse, haunted by the realization that the curse was not mere superstition but a malevolent force that lingered in the very soil of the farm. As the first light of dawn broke, revealing the fields bathed in the soft glow of morning, grandfather and I shared a solemn understanding. The cursed harvest, an ancient tale brought to life under the moonlit sky, left an indelible mark on the farm. The golden crops, once a symbol of abundance, now held a haunting beauty that served as a reminder of the spectral drama that played out beneath the ancient oak. Ninth story. The Silent Orchard, by Isabella Rodriguez. My name is Isabella Rodriguez, and the unnerving night I spent at a distant relative's orchard in the rolling hills of Tuscany is a story I hesitated to share. The picturesque landscape, with its sun-kissed vineyards and fragrant olive groves, seemed like the epitome of Italian charm. Little did I know, the silent orchard harbored a secret that would unravel with each passing hour. Cousin Lorenzo, a reserved man with a penchant for solitude, welcomed me with a nod as I arrived at the family estate. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the orchard of peach and cherry trees, Lorenzo suggested a moonlit stroll through the silent rows of fruit-bearing sentinels. The air was thick with the scent of blossoms, and the distant hum of crickets added to the tranquility of the night. As we ventured into the orchard, the moon's silvery light revealed a serene tableau of fruit-laden branches swaying in the night breeze. The silence, however, felt unnaturally heavy, as if the orchard itself held its breath in anticipation. Lorenzo, with a subtle unease in his eyes, hinted at a long-standing family secret associated with the orchard, a secret buried in the roots of the ancient trees. As the night wore on, the atmosphere shifted from serene to unsettling. The moon, now obscured by a blanket of clouds, cast sporadic shadows that seemed to dance among the branches. Lorenzo, speaking in hushed tones, explained the legend of the silent orchard, a tale of an ancestral pact with a mysterious entity that granted bountiful harvests in exchange for an unspeakable price. The silence of the orchard became more pronounced, and the air felt charged with an unseen energy. Lorenzo, with a wary gaze, confessed that the entity invoked by his ancestors demanded a ritual on every full moon, a ritual shrouded in secrecy and horror. He spoke of distant whispers and fleeting glimpses of spectral figures that haunted the orchard during the moonlit nights. As we reached the heart of the orchard, a cold wind swept through the branches, carrying with it the echoes of a ghostly lament. Shadows materialized among the trees, and Lorenzo, his voice barely above a whisper, guided me to a weathered stone altar hidden beneath the blossoms. The altar, adorned with ancient symbols, bore witness to the unspeakable pact that bound the silent orchard to the realm of the supernatural. Suddenly, the clouds parted, revealing the full moon in all its luminous glory. The orchard came alive with a spectral energy, and the air resonated with the distant wails of unseen entities. Lorenzo, with a mixture of fear and resignation, began the ritual that would appease the entity and maintain the fragile balance between the living and the supernatural. As the ritual unfolded, the orchard seemed to warp and contort, the branches twisting into grotesque shapes. The moonlight cast a surreal glow on the blossoms, transforming them into ghostly apparitions that swayed in unison with the haunting melody of the night. I felt an invisible force tugging at my senses, as if the very fabric of reality unraveled in the presence of the silent orchard's secret. When the ritual reached its crescendo, the orchard fell into an eerie stillness. The shadows dispersed, and the spectral lament faded into the night. Lorenzo and I, drained by the encounter with the supernatural, stumbled back to the family estate, haunted by the knowledge that the silent orchard held a pact with forces beyond human comprehension. The following day, As the sun bathed the orchard in a golden embrace, Lorenzo and I shared a solemn understanding. The silent orchard, once a symbol of abundance, now bore the scars of an otherworldly covenant. The blossoms, while still fragrant, seemed to carry the weight of a secret that echoed through the generations, leaving me with a profound sense of awe and dread. 10th story. Whispers in the Cornfield, by Daniel Whitman. My name is Daniel Whitman, and the unsettling night I spent at my friend Jacob's family farm in the heartland of Iowa is a tale I can scarcely recount without a shiver running down my spine. The vast fields of corn, stretching as far as the eye could see, held the promise of an idyllic rural retreat. Little did I know, the cornfield concealed a mystery that would unfold with each rustling leaf and whispered breeze. Jacob, a jovial farmer with a love for the land, welcomed me with a hearty handshake. As the sun dipped below the expansive horizon, casting long shadows over the fields, Jacob suggested we take a moonlit walk through the swaying cornstalks. The air was crisp with the scent of soil, and the rustling leaves created a soothing symphony that echoed through the heartland night. As we ventured into the cornfield, the moon's silvery glow revealed a labyrinth of towering stalks that seemed to dance in the gentle breeze. The rows, seemingly endless, formed a maze that played tricks on the senses. Jacob, with a mischievous grin, hinted at the farm's unsolved mystery, the phenomenon of strange whispers that echoed through the cornfield during the full moon. The night was surprisingly still as we navigated the winding paths between the towering cornstalks. The moon, unobscured by clouds, cast an ethereal glow on the rustling leaves. Jacob, with a glance over his shoulder, confessed that the whispers were rumored to be the voices of the farm's previous owners, an enigmatic family that disappeared without a trace decades ago. As we reached the heart of the cornfield, the air grew thick with tension. The whispers, faint at first, became more pronounced, as if the very cornstalks held secrets too profound for human ears. Jacob, his jovial demeanor replaced by a serious gaze, urged me to listen closely. The whispers seemed to carry the weight of untold stories, of forgotten lives that lingered in the shadows. Suddenly, the cornfield came alive with a spectral energy. Shadows danced among the stalks, and the whispers coalesced into a dissonant chorus of voices. The moonlit night became a stage for a spectral drama, as the voices spoke of a tragedy that befell the farm's previous owners, a tragedy that left their spirits trapped in the very soil they once tilled. As the whispers reached a haunting crescendo, the cornfield seemed to warp and contort, the very fabric of reality bending under the weight of the supernatural. Jacob and I stood frozen in awe and terror, witnesses to a spectral performance that defied the laws of the living. The voices, filled with longing and sorrow, cast a palpable chill that seeped into our bones. When the moon dipped below the horizon, the cornfield returned to its silent expanse. The shadows dispersed, and the whispers faded into the night. Jacob and I, our minds grappling with the surreal encounter, stumbled back to the farmhouse, haunted by the knowledge that the cornfield held a spectral secret too chilling to ignore. As the first light of dawn broke, revealing the cornfield bathed in the soft glow of morning, Jacob and I shared a silent acknowledgement. The vast fields of corn, once a symbol of abundance, now bore witness to a mystery that transcended the boundaries of the ordinary. The rustling leaves, while seemingly innocent, carried with them the echoes of a spectral chorus that left me with a lingering sense of unease and wonder. Thank you for watching whole video. Check this video you see on the screen, it's one of my favorite. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash that like to support my free and daily content for you. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment and tell me what story got you chills.